All right, yeah.
Caller.
Go ahead, caller.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Good to hear from you. What you got?
Well, I was calling you because I made a comment the other day pertaining to I'm from Michigan and I'm 60 years old and I am aware of the boxing
Can you
world.
mute your TV for me?
Claressa is sitting up and she's damaging her career. And what people are steady missing is the fact that, yes, God blessed her with the ability and having them hands, but Claressa is still infested with her life, the way she was raised. And this is what her problem is. No matter what y'all say pertaining to that papoose issue, she's emulating Remy, yes, but at the same time, she want to be a part of that reality world because look at who she won't fight. Look at what Green just blasted her and put everything she said on the floor, but won't nobody talk about that.
When did she blast her? Something happened today?
No, she did it a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When she called Carlissa out.
Okay.
And
on Twitter. On Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I haven't got no response from Carlissa about that. When the Green young lady called her out. The boxer Green.
Yeah. I'm tracking with you.
Yeah, she called her out, and everything that she said is true. Carlissa is running from the rough, tough, real fight to give her a challenge to that reality world because she's never had, the girl didn't grow up with anything. And I know her mama, I know Sharlita mama, I know them very well. Listen, the bottom line is when God has a hand on Carlissa and he's taking her up out of there, but the poison that is still deep within her from envy, jealous, never having nothing, she don't know how to approach other women and be respectful because she got so much envy in her. Come on. Look at what J. Paul just put together. There's no way this girl shouldn't have been a part of that with her skills. And as far as Layla Ali go, look at here, baby. You just Layla praying for her, I'm praying for her, and the whole world needs to because it's a bigger story. It's a bigger hidden agenda with Carlissa. That girl got mental health issues. Her boxing ability takes her away from her even having to think because that's how she try to use her skills to just drown out all the hurt and pain she lives in.
Do you know her personally?
I don't know Carlissa. No, I do not. Like I said, I know the auntie and the mother.
Okay.
But I'm not, but the bottom line is, sir, I heard you say your daddy's from Trinidad, and, whether people admit stuff or not, the upbringing, it goes a long way. And what was you was introduced to, you're either going to make it through the ugly and the hardship to become better, or you're going to stay stuck in it. And in Carlissa's case, it just infested her from so many negative things that she found glorifying in. It's showing now since that last fake fight she just had. Look at her on that vacation. It's showing she don't know. She don't have no identity.
What happened on the vacation? I don't know anything about the vacation. Tell me what you saw.
Well, her vacation, they was just showing her and Papoose on vacation with all them other old girls with her. And I think that has something to do with that Zeus Crazy network, though.
Okay.
But she was on vacation with Papoose.
Okay. They filming, obviously, must be filming that reality show.
Yes. Because she don't have no promotion. She don't have no guidance. She don't have no positiveness around her at all. And you got to understand, when it comes to Flint, Michigan, we call it Flintstone. Listen, it's more negative, ratchet ass ghetto-ness than there is any positiveness. You know, that's even for the whole Michigan. You have these little towns, these black towns, and I grew up from there, and I know what I'm talking about. These little black towns, the outskirts is considered the suburbs of it. So in Claressa defense, she was in the war zone. Them people gravitate on mess. They don't try to see better because they just want to blunt a joint and freaking. And unfortunately, yes, she learned to box. She focused on her trainings, but for all of that, that was her route of drowning out all the ugly and the sorrow. The bottom line is, that's neither here nor there. You are 31 years old. It's all about, do you want to represent and be a true goat? Because right now, you're a lamb. You're not a goat. You're sitting up and you're drowning into the wanting to be a part of the world that's not there for you yet. Grow. Go and show your true talent and your skills with them women that's going to give you that funk back. And that's what it is. Regardless of what they say, she's looking for love. She really won't Remy. But she also, she don't know how to reach out in the mix. That she do want to be a part of that girl, that set of girls that is making it happen in boxing. But she's using the two Olympics to make her feel above them. This baby has mental problems. Yes, she got the skills, but she don't have the right PR team behind her. She don't have no one that can say no and stand on a no. Well, come on now. That girl gonna blow her money within the next few years if Papoose don't take it off. Someone in the late Ali tried, and when she did that, that's when everyone in that boxing world should have recognized that Claressa got more issues than what is said. Everyone just wants, they talk about the boxing. Yes, but this girl is drowning. She's drowning, so now she's trying to run to love. So, you know, maybe somebody can recommend the boxing world. Get that girl up under some psychiatric help to help her to understand, to place them issues. Because she's a good boxer. And you're a very handsome, good commentator. And thank you for listening to me.
Well, don't jump off now. And thank you for the compliment. Okay. I appreciate it. Made my night with that one. Send you a big kiss. Catch it on the cheek. Pow. Now,
I don't play.
Let me ask you two questions, man. When did you leave? Are you from Flint?
No, I'm from Michigan.
Okay.
When I was younger, Flint, besides the water issue that went on, you have to understand how the hood world life go up and down Michigan, especially when you're coming from the Detroit area and the Pontiac area. Mm-hmm. You go from, if you are in the life, and you're from the Detroit or Pontiac area, we basically in the 80s kind of went through Flint because each town, it may be a dime here in Detroit. You go to Pontiac, it's $20. You go to Flint, it's $40. Do you hear what I'm saying? You go to Lansing, you go to $40. You go to Muskegon, da-da-da. Because of the Caucasian race in Michigan, in each one of them little different towns throughout Michigan, except when you go past Grand Rapids, when you're going up more to the upper bound where the Ku Klux Klan and the for real fuck people that Flint in the 80s, in the 90s was a stopping stool because you could go to them towns and you could make money and you didn't have to worry about getting killed. They didn't run the crews out of Flint as they would if you're from Detroit, as they would. You couldn't go to Pontiac and do that. You can go to Flint. You can go to Lansing. You can go to all these other places, even Grand Rapids, where Floyd sorry ass from. It's just the funk. And Claressa, unfortunately, she was in the depths of ignorancy where it wasn't nothing but drugs. Her mama was on drugs, the daddy was gone, in prison. And yes, the grandmother did come to help her. But when you have been, living in the infestation, unfortunately, sometimes you gravitate to some of the negativity. And that's what been happening to this baby. God had that hand on that child when she started focusing on wanting. God placed that wanting to be out of Flint. God placed her in focusing on that boxing, but she still had so many raggedy other people around her, her cousin, her sister, you know what I'm saying? So she lost. But God steady got a hand on her, giving her that ability to, you know what I'm saying? Now, she just don't want. She didn't want something. She didn't want, so she don't want to hear. She don't want to hear what nobody else saying. The bottom line is going to be sad. It is sad to watch someone lose the blessing that God has steady placed and gave them. And Claressa is that girl likes that raggedy shit. She likes it. It's in her DNA.
Man, you have me interested. So what kind of black people they have in Flint, Michigan? Because now you got me really interested.
Well, it depends on where you from. It's like everywhere else. It depends on what sector and what side of town where you're from, your people. You got to think about it from Ohio to Chicago. All of them states in between, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Indianapolis, Chicago. They all have the same common denominator. Majority of the black folks, they migrated from the southern states. In the 80s, when crack hit Michigan, every part, the religious aspect, the village community, the people partaking in helping you to become a better person, even when your mama was a drug addicted. It started fading, baby. These people start, the mothers start hanging out with the daughters. They all wearing dresses up there. It depends on what type of parent and what household you come from. And once that the crack hit, the factories closed down. The black folks come from the southern states. They were in the army. They got out the army, went to work in the factory life. Understand this. People have been so mixed up about Michigan and Detroit. In the 70s and 80s, yes, we was coming out the mess. But we had the factory workers. And the black folks lived good and had. People wasn't running around with poor mentalities. When that crack hit, it all went back to people. They have a poor mentality. They're lazy as shit in Michigan now because of the internet, because of the drugs. And unfortunately, Claressa comes from all of that. She didn't have nobody in her house telling her how to spell important, what the meaning was. She was in survival mode. She never grabbed it. So when people tried to reach out with her, to her with decency and respect, she don't know how to receive it. She don't know how. And it's sad because I'm not going to lie to you. I think she's a great, wonderful boxer, but I need for her to fight somebody that's going to give her some rhythm. Not none of these people that, think about it. What's the girl name she fought in that MMA? That white girl. Y'all say what y'all want. They her with Claressa ass.
Where she lost the MMA fight?
I don't know. I can't think of the girl.
She won one and she lost one. I can't remember the name, but she won one MMA fight.
If you remember the media. Now, see, you said she lost it, and I know she lost it, but the media didn't. They sit up when it came to that MAA. They said a draw and 2 or 3 wins, and then she ain't did it no more. That white girl whooped Claressa ass.
Yeah, I know she had 1 loss and I think 1 win.
And that's just like they don't, she don't want to give Francesca no props. Come on now. Yeah, Francesca was bruised up, but you the one walked away with Stitch, and them eyes ain't never came unblack yet. So it's just sad to see that she don't have a proper team. She do not. She got a bunch of raggedy, booty-licking ass little people around. All of them girls is old, promiscuous, bisexual ass girls. All of them is nothing but a whole zoo full of freaks. And that's what it debate. The girl don't got no team. And then they want to talk about Crawford being a part of being cool with her. Well, bro, man, when you gonna step up? They're losing the goodness of the boxing world. Our boxing world was a beautiful, beautiful thing. Good skills, good talent. And look at it, Claressa, she's doing bad for the women in the boxing world. Is she not going to be a part of fighting them girls? Then she need to go ahead on to that Zeus, because she's not a good example for our youth, young girls. And that's just the truth. And that's what it is. The girl, look, I'm telling you, her whole family need to be dipped in the Jordan River now.
Is that bad?
Yeah, it's the black homeland syndrome. And then let me tell you something real quick too.
No, go ahead. You take as much time as you want. Take as much time as you want.
Let me tell you something okay, Sharlita is on there. Sharlita's not lying about everything. Yes, she is over-exaggerating a few things, but she's not lying. She is not. Sharlita ran away from her mother family to be a part of her daddy family with Claressa M. Because Sharlita couldn't do none of that shit at her mama and them home. She couldn't do that out there and her grandmother and granddaddy that raised her. So she ran away to be with her daddy people with Claressa M. Because her mother went to prison for a while. Sharlita's did. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, I know the whole family.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like Sharlita grew up in a really good family and they had standards and she just chose to do something different.
She chose, listen, Sharlita needs to be up under a mental hospital too. Sharlita ran away from her grandparents while her mother was incarcerated to be around her daddy people so she could do what she wanted to do. Sharlita has a successful daughter, 21 years old, goes to Michigan State. Her second son is getting ready. The scouts going to be looking for him for basketball. The baby that y'all speak about Claressa and Sharlita, Sharlita's grandmother is raising that baby.
And that's Sharlita's child, right?
Yes, the one that Claressa had.
Right.
Sharlita grandparents, may her grandfather rest in peace. Big Al, Sharlita grandfather owned the pizza store, in a convenience store in Flint, Michigan. They live on the outskirts of Flint. Sharlita ran to her daddy side of the family, which is Claressa, so she could do what she wanted to do. And she did try her best, but when you a nut, how you gonna teach another nut?
So what is it that we're not seeing about Flint, Michigan, and people from around that area? Because I know I wanna. So what is it we're not seeing? What's the real deal?
The deal is it's drug infested. They have no more. Village type community. It's not a village type community no more. You know, this is the truth about, even when you speak about Flint and Detroit, the whole Michigan. The problem is that they have closed down the recreational centers. They have closed down the school systems. Michigan has been under this attack right before COVID that they never speak on. Flint, all of the little towns has suffered. They don't have the school system no more like they used to. They don't have the recreational centers. All they have is these people. They don't even have the churches going out in the communities no more. And that's what the problem is. You're talking about women that is only 15, 16, 17, 18, maybe 18 years older than their daughters. Do you understand what I'm saying? The grandparents and passed away.
Children raising children.
Yes, and then the cities themselves, because it is a black community. You know, they didn't close down all access to them. So you have to go, you have to have someone positive that wants something out of life to help you to even see through the darkness. A lot of them girls in Flint, they gravitated to the guys coming up from Detroit that's the ballers. They take over their damn houses, go to selling the drugs. The mother, the fathers try to step in. The kids have no respect no more. You know, it's bad enough when you ain't got no education and you don't have no discipline and you don't have no examples of positiveness. And unfortunately, yes, Flint caught the flux with it being the water. But you think about it. The whole state of Michigan itself is a wall, nothing but water. Throughout every county, every town, everywhere. The whole state itself. How come Flint is the only state that got the worst water poison that there was? Because they closed down the trucking factory and they dumped all that pollution into that water of Flint. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
And the church is the ones that used to rock from the beginning of it, the top of Michigan to the end. The black community of the church homes was the ones that helped carry these things through. Even the Caucasians, they don't have that no more. They don't have buses going through them towns picking up kids to go to church no more. They don't have people going knocking on your door outside the Jehovah's Witness. They're not giving back in these broken communities, and that is what's going on with Flint. Flint, they all moved to what's considered the outskirts of Flint.
What, like Beecher?
Yeah, that's where Sharlita is from. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What you know about Beecher?
I've had enough people call in here. I could probably tell you all about goddamn Flint and Beecher and neighboring cities.
Well,
I ain't never been there. It's just people call in, so I'll just be basically parroting what they've said.
But see, this is the funny part. They'll tell you about Beecher. Beecher is on the outside. Beecher is not bad. It's the inner part of Flint, where Sharlita and her sister and all of them is from. That's the inner part of Flint. Beecher is where they run to because it's more clean. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They pick up a little bit more of the trash than you get what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Michigan in a whole. Make me understand. Mayweather getting ready to come wanting to fight somebody. You ain't did shit for Grand Rapids. Mayweather ain't did shit for Grand Rapids. Ain't did nothing but upgraded his mama house because she refused to move. She wanted to stay down to earth. But Mayweather ain't did shit for Grand Rapids. But he sure enough bought that building that he might as well put up for sale in Manhattan, New York.
Why do you think when some of these fighters who come from Michigan and they make it, they leave and turn their back on where they came from? If that's what you're saying.
Well, let's don't just lead him to. Let's go to Magic Johnson, big head ass.
Is he's from out there too?
He's from Lansing.
Oh, that's right, Lansing, Michigan. He sure as hell is.
I grew up with that nasty ass thing.
Why you say he's nasty? He's always been a freak with that.
I mean, well, because he was messing around with a lot of girls, and when he got, how it go, Mr. Popular on the basketball team.
Yeah.
But look at him. This bastard that went and bought 50 million theaters. Ask him how many theaters he done bought in Lansing. Then we can go down. We can take it farther to Detroit because that's where I really, I'm from the Pontiac area, but I grew up and down I went to school in Pontiac and I hang out and I lived in Detroit. But Flint, Lansing, Port Huron, Muskegon, Kalamazoo, I can go on and on. Belleville, they're all the same. And unfortunately, at me being my age and the travels I done been through, I don't live in Michigan at all no more. I just went up there December, and I'm not trying to go back no time soon. They have the poor man mentality.
So you left Michigan to go where, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I live out in the mountain part of Colorado Springs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been to Colorado. Okay.
I mean, and this is a whole nother world itself because I sit up and if I knew how to video and do all of that, I think someone needs to come out here and see the difference where, they publicize all our ignorancy on the TVs, but we're the ones that's in the football, baseball, boxing, all of that to make it really happen. Whereas out here, the Caucasians is so they are 10 times worse than the black race. They don't walk around asking for they walk around out here asking for fentanyl. They the dirtiest. They live like cavemen. Come up, go up in the mountains, sleep all over the place. Oh my God! See, we're publicized on the TV, but they don't publicize the truthfulness of. They live worse than we do. And I had to come out here. I've been living out here now, back and forth, for 16 years. Growing up in Michigan, if you've seen a black woman or a black man with a white person, it was because the Caucasian person had come from money. Whereas out here, oh my God, I ain't never in my life seen so many homeless, interracial couples walking hand in hand, dirty as ever. But they swept them down, they love each other. Living under the bridges. So, our world is still really sleeping. They think they know because this social media has destroyed the man of our people, period, of all kind, not just one race, all races, but it's tearing the black community up. Why you think now? I tell people on the road, ain't no need to be mad at the Mexicans because what they coming over here working, and that's what the black man did. We built this damn world. But they have put so many things and did so many things to distract, and that's because we don't have the strong family households like we did in the 60s and the 70s. You know, because me personally, I want to see more black women go into the boxing. I learned about women boxing back in 1973 in Huntsville, Alabama, where my family is originally from. Was the first time, and they didn't have gloves then. They was using their knuckles in the bars fights. So I would love to see this sport of women boxing expand because Lady Ali has done a beautiful job. You know, so listen, you know, it's a worldwide thing going on that is don't no one get a hold of. Claressa sending bad messages to our youth. She's steady, you know, and that's my thing. You know, if she would have left it at them seeing her achieving, getting from out of Flint to be a motivator, you know, to motivate the people, it would have been beautiful. But this that she's going, the venture she's doing now, it's not helping. It's not helping.
Right.
You know, and don't get me wrong, you know, because, you know, I would love to see, you know, I grew up, I remember Tommy Hearns had his boxing place in Detroit, you know. We had ours Ass Track up in Pontiac, Michigan. You know, it would be a beautiful thing, but right now, the poison that is in the communities of which Claressa comes from, she's setting a bad, it's a bad example. It's not looking good. And them people calling you from Beecher, man, them is Claressa and her sister, and them is their friends. Them is their people. When anybody trying to, because Claressa is having these people for everything that is said ugly about her, but she's the one giving them the stuff to say. That's what she's having people to come to call in trying to cuss people out because that's their ignorancy. They can't hold no conversation. Them girls can't even wash their booties right. So,
right.
You know, you have to, you know, understand that what you're doing, trying to get that girl to see where she could be is a blessing. But have you ever heard that old saying, it go in one ear out the other? That's what's going on with Claressa. You know, so if you got, you know, that boxing team she got sucks, they all need to be fired. Or whatever going on. I know Nyla ain't nobody boxing team. That's a girl. That's a woman. But you know they won't go on and put that on the TV. They won't go on and that girl like men and women. Papoose is just something she grew up admiring. You know, she wants, and the fact that he's even talking to her is her enthusiasm. But it's Remy she won't. So, you know, all I can say is you're doing a great job. Thank you for the commentation for the boxing. What's going on in the women world of boxing. Mm-hmm. Don't you let these young, ignorant girls detour you from what you're doing. But if you're going to speak it, speak the real. So maybe somebody will reach out. And because right now, that girl ain't paying us no attention, nobody. Papoose is God to her right now. And that man don't want her. That man trying to get some money so he can get rid of me back.
Shit.
It's disgusting.
Right. Well, from this, yeah, but from listening to you, it sounds like that maybe people should appreciate Claressa a little bit more because of where she came from Flint, and how you described it. It sounds like she's like a miracle child, because it sounds like most people don't make it out of Flint, and she did. So from listening to you, I think people should probably appreciate it more.
That's what I'm saying to you. Yes, she is a miracle child to make it out of Flint, but at the same time, Claressa never let go of the ugliness that she grew to feel was the way of living and being. Do that? You get what I'm saying?
I understand.
She wants to be out of there, but at the same time, Claressa found it to be okay with the way that she acts and see things when it comes to dealing with people and trying to be with a man. You get what I'm saying? So she gravitated to liking the ugliness, but she wanted out of the ugliness. You get what I'm saying? So her ways, she got a lot of ways from the people she grew up and what she witnessed and seen. But once again, God got a hand on her that she steady tried to come up out of there. Now she up out of there, but she don't know what she doing. She lost, so she leave. The girl group. I just don't understand why this girl don't have no team. She don't have no PR team. She don't have nobody. That girl ain't nothing but a money bag for anybody that's a hustler. If they come along, they'll get her. That's what Papoose doing.
If you were on her team, what's the number one thing you would change?
Well, the number one thing would be, first of all, Papoose got to go. Second of all, I would take Claressa to get some type of coaching. Someone that has a little biblical background in them, and helping her to understand when she speak about God. I would really have her to have a counseling coach team to help her to talk about, and as well as the things that her boxing is driven out her pain. So I would get someone to help her, to get her to talk about it, so that pain make that talent even more abundantly,
Mm-hmm.
Then, I would, as far as her family go, this the truth. In order for Claressa Claressa, she would really, in order for her to go and do what she needs to do and help them, far as to help their living status be better. I'm not saying just give all their money. If I was her, they would all have to agree for all of them in a whole to go to therapy, psychiatric and therapy. And if Claressa was for the right thing, go up there and fix your mama house. Why would you? Your grandmama is up in the Roachville nastiest nursing home anybody can be in Flint. That nursing home is disgusting. That's the low-income Medicaid nursing home. And that girl got all that money. She could have put her grandmama in one of them on the outskirts of Flint or anywhere coming back down towards Pontiac. Bloomfield, where I'm from, the area I'm from. She could have did so much better for her grandmother. That's another thing. You know, come on, this is what I'm saying. And you see the signs. That girl don't know what the hell she doing. But she's so angry and mad that she really don't care. So she just like her sister, her mama, her daddy, her uncles. She's just not on the drugs. You get what I'm saying?
No, I understand. I have 3 brothers, and when people, I've had people meet me and then run into my brothers because we look alike, right? And they were like, "Yo, you got a brother named Hood Champion?" They were like, "Yeah." They were like, "But we have similar mannerisms. We speak the same."
Yes,
so those are just different characteristics and traits that siblings share. So I 100% believe that Claressa, I put it, those fruits that fell from the tree are all have very similar qualities and characteristics. So I understand what you're saying.
And then you gotta understand, they haven't tried and they're not trying to better what they done been through. They gravitated to finding it's okay for them to be like that. They think that's normal. You know what I'm saying? That's normal to them.
What's normal to them to conduct themselves?
To conduct themselves and thinking the cussing, the getting high, the having all these men, these old raggedy little boys around them, you know, the nasty house. That's normal to them.
But a product of your, I mean, if people never get out of that environment, they haven't seen different. They can't know different. But you know what? At the same time, that's no excuse. Because if you're on your phone and you can look at all the bullshit, you can look and see how people are living and see there's a different way. Yeah.
Now you know, and I know. You gotta want different.
Right. True.
Them girl, look at here. It's something that I have always agreed with in the sociology, psychology world. That ain't nobody gonna ever listen. When you can grow up in so much trauma and so much ugliness, and it engulfs you. But as you grow and you become a certain age, you have the opportunity to seek to become letting go of that and doing better. They don't want to do better. This is the poor man mentality thinking. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the poor man mentality. And then when others on the outside looking in, they see nothing but disgust. And then they want to have empathy, sympathy to reach out. And then when they do, people like Claressa and her family, you reach out, you help, you give. They get what they can get, then they don't want to be bothered with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a generational curse. It's been taught. It's a difference when you've been taught to think po, see po, no po. You get what I'm saying?
Right. So let me ask you a question. Did you grow up like that? And if so, when did you decide to make a change? What is it that you experienced that if you grew up that way to make a change?
Now, see, I'm going to tell you just like this. I didn't grow up like this.
Okay.
Just like, hold on. Sharlita mama didn't grow up like that neither, even though she ended up, making a wrong turn, getting in trouble. But she living good. She just can be ignorant when it comes to talking to her. But Sharlita mother lives good. She got a husband. She's doing great. She's not living in her past. Now, as far as me, I grew up with a mother and father structure. My family originally from Alabama. And, I went to school. I did all the right things. And when my parents divorced, You know, I try to defend. I'm not gonna lie to you. I try to defend for so many years, but health issues is what made me sit my butt down. But I was blessed. You know, when I got into my mess of thinking I was grown and trying to be around the people of the street, I still went to school. I still had a job, you know, but I thank God I had a father, you know, and a mother. And when my mother and father divorced, I went with my father, you know. So my father raised me. I am a true princess, queen, whatever you want to classify it, but I'm a child of God first. So my upbringing is what helped me make it through the trenches. I grew up with a lot of male cousins and stuff, so you know I don't think like no regular female because I believe in me. I have confidence. I don't have jealousy and envy in me, and that's what's wrong with a lot of our sisters nowadays in this world is, you know, they carry a lot of jealousy and envy. So, you know, I thank God I didn't grow up with all of that.
Okay.
You know, and I have a daughter. My daughter, she didn't have her first baby until she was 40. So, you know, I thank God that I was able to see through even the mess when I chose to be off into the street life and doing different things and et cetera, et cetera. I didn't let it. I thank God for my upbringing. You know, I had family. I had that village.
Okay.
And I thank the Lord for it. You know, but I do know Sharlita's mother very well. You know, I know where she come from, and I know where she's at now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so far as me, you know, like I said, I end up out here in Colorado. I've been back and forth out here for over 15, 16 years because I still go to Michigan to try to help my great nieces and great nephews and stuff out. And I do go to Flint to visit Sharlita's mother.
Okay.
You know, even though they don't socialize at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can't, no.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you need to call him more often, man, because you said a whole lot. You said a whole lot, man, and I appreciate it, man. I really do.
Well, it's because I don't do the social media. I don't have Facebook. That's to me, the goodness that it's meant for, people have really destroyed it. So I don't do all of the social media, Facebook and all that, but I started watching YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and you had that hat off showing your hair.
My hair?
Yeah.
Okay, and what happened?
And when I seen it, I was like, oh my God, look at this Indian handsome man. And then I instantly, you know, you made me think about my own family, my uncles and my cousins. You know, you got that hair like them, that old good pretty boy hair. And I say, you know what, I'm going to listen to him. And when I start listening to you, I like that you are, you're bringing the boxing world. But I also, when you went to talking about Claressa, I heard the sincereness in your voice of, you know, some people can say, I don't give a fuck,
mm-hmm.
but I'm praying for you. And that's what I got from you.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So that's what I got from you. Listening to your commentating and listening to you talk, especially when one of them girls, them was one of Claressa friends. I thought it was Brianna too.
Come on, last night? Last night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because see, Brianna, when she's not, now when she on this internet, y'all, when she came on this internet, that's when she was drinking. But when she's not drinking, she still sounds, she don't sound as harsh.
Right.
As far as the raspiness in her voice and stuff, it's a little less, it's yeah. So I thought that was her talking to you, calling saying all that mess on the phone. So I said, let me call and tell this man, don't listen. That's them. They're calling in because Claressa has asked them, you know, whenever they see certain stuff, she basically then gave them the okay to call in and cuss people out. You know, Sharlita is really, she's doing all of this because, hey, she misses her cousin, but as well as Sharlita is really mad that Claressa is allowing Papoose to make her look the way she is on the TV and stuff. You know, just like you ain't heard Claressa didn't answer. Remember, Claressa did a thing saying she'll pay anybody $1,000, $10,000 or something if they'll get in the ring with her and whoop her. Sharlita told her, run it, let's do it.
Right.
You know, so, yeah. So, you know, I just hope if you have any connections with that boxing arena, maybe somebody could tell her, because I mean she don't have no promotions anyway. She don't have nothing going on. So maybe someone in the boxing arena could give her an ultimatum and letting her know if she's gonna represent the boxing world as a whole, you know, that there are certain things that they're not gonna let her bring that type of tarnishment until, you know what I'm saying? Something. But it's gonna have to be something to really make this girl realize you're finna lose your boxing career for garbage. Because the street, them New York people ain't gonna do nothing but dump that girl in the dumpster somewhere.
Mm-hmm. All right.
New York is, you know what I'm saying, it's faster, the game is shot. You know, the game stays, but the people changes. And unfortunately, in our younger generation, you know, we don't get to see the younger people that's making positive choices as much as we do the negativity.
Right.
See, that's what I do like about Colorado is the fact that it's a service town, it's the Olympic town, where I do get to see family structure still displayed because it's a service town, Olympics, you know what I'm saying? You know, but as well as I see all of that, I can go to one, they have their infestation and drug part of the Caucasians, they have them in one section of the town.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate you calling in, man. And I didn't know I had you out there as a fan, man. I was looking. I was like, I thought you were a member. I thought you were a member of the channel. I was looking to see if you were a member of the channel. But I don't know.
I didn't. You know what? When my nephew come, I will get my nephew to show me how to do that because like I said, I found just your conversation. You know, I'll get my nephew to show me how to do the joining part, as well as you have a cash app where someone could like donate $15, $20 little or something to say thank you.
Yeah, I just put it in the chat. It's my cash app is Hood Champion Boxing, $ Hood Champion Boxing.
Okay, and soon as he come, he get off of work in a couple hours, and you know, I'm gonna have him to show me, and you'll see it'll pop up. And now I don't know, when you see my thing, it come up Yvonne, or what does it come up as?
It doesn't say. It just has a 719 number.
Okay. Well, I tell you, I got on the thing on your YouTube thing. I got it as Yvonne 5965. I tell you the truth. That's my middle name. Okay. But my real name, I got a white girl name, is Karen.
Okay. Karen?
Yeah. Yes, it is. You know, but maybe one day, I'm telling you, I don't know, God don't lead me wrong. But maybe me and you, we could talk and there's some stuff I can give you a little few things that, you know, there's a lot going on. I work for community mental health in Michigan. I worked in Detroit for a few years. I had to go because them black folks out there so ignorant. It's a whole nother arena. But community mental health in Michigan, period, is so bad, you know. And then you got to understand, people hear the word mental health, they don't even understand it's really just everyday life living. Everybody don't know how to handle it. You know, what's the best record? Because some people haven't been taught. You know?
Right,
and
I'm sure.
I have an old saying as well. When I worked for community mental health in Detroit, baby, on the east side of Detroit, one of the worst areas you can be in for community mental health. When I tell you, they will jump on you the whole caboodle.
Okay.
But I learned.
All right.
How can, until somebody is taught something different, this is what they're going to go by.
Yep.
But they got to want to see different. So for me, when I lived in Michigan and I worked for them, I started taking these people to outside of Detroit. You have people in Detroit, Flint, Lansing, Grant. Them people ain't never even been out of them little black towns.
But you got my number, man, so you can text me or whatever, man, and if you have any questions about becoming a member.
I will do.
Yeah. And
what's your name again?
My name is Ray.
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 Okay, Mr. Ray.
Just call me Ray.
All right. And what state are you in?
Oh, I'm international, baby. You never know where I'm going to show up. One day I'm here, one day I'm there.
Okay.